So, to give you a bit of background, I've got two different businesses. One of my businesses is... Okay, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a slightly different one. I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 things I wish I knew before I went self-employed. So, to give you a bit of background, I've been self-employed for approximately 6 years now. I've got two different businesses. One of my businesses is wedding photography. I run a wedding photography company. It's a partnership. Myself and my business partner, we run it together. And yeah, essentially we go and take photos at people's weddings. I've also got a second business, which is a construction business. So we do house refurbishments. So bathrooms, kitchen renovations, yeah, any house renovations and upgrades basically. So two very different types of businesses. Both have pros and cons, which is a whole nother video. But having those two businesses has given me a wide variety of experience in self-employed in different sectors and getting a more well-rounded understanding of what self-employed can offer, the stresses of it, the ups and downs of it. And I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts and some of the things I wish I knew before I actually went self-employed. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first thing I wish I knew before I went self-employed was how much you actually have to work. So don't get me wrong, I'm not against working hard. You've got to work hard when you're self-employed. You've got to work hard, to be honest, in anything you do. You should be motivated, you should want to grind, you should want to always improve yourself and keep pushing. However, going self-employed, everything is amplified. You have no safety net in some regard to fall back on. Your business is everything. And usually at the start of a startup business, a smaller business, you have to do everything, which means you're going to have to work hard at doing everything to make sure that, you know, it's the best it can be. For example, the product or service that you're offering has to be stand out from all the others. You're bound to have competition in whatever you decide to set your business up in. So how are you going to stand out from everyone else? Number one is obviously working hard at what you do to produce the best quality of whatever your product or service is. So for your business to be a success and for it to continue growing and to attract new customers and to be in a position to scale up your business, you're going to have to work hard to get your business in front of people. You're going to have to work hard to beat your competition. You're going to have to work hard to create the best product or service for your customers. Also, on this first point, it's not necessarily about how hard you have to work, but it's how much work you actually have to do. You're not just the business owner, you're everything in the business, which leads me nicely onto my point number 2. I've got notes here on my laptop, that's why I keep looking off camera, by the way. But my second point is what I wish I knew before I started my self-employed journey was all the different jobs and different roles you have to fulfill in your business. As a small startup business, you probably don't have loads of money, so you're probably not hiring loads of different people to fill these roles. For example, marketing, admin, all these different roles in your business. If you're making products on the production line, all these different things, you're gonna have to do everything yourself. So, if you think about an employed job you've had previously, especially if it was in a big organization, there may have been different departments where each department has their own thing to focus on, which helps improve the company and the brand overall. But as a startup, as a sole trader, as a one-man band, you are doing all those different jobs together to basically build your business up and grow it into a healthy position. so that perhaps one day you will be able to hire people and to start, subbing out work to basically take the pressure off yourself so that you can focus on doing what you're good at doing, which is why you set the business up in the first place. So that is definitely something to consider if you're thinking about going self-employed. My third point, and something that I wasn't necessarily thinking about before I went self-employed, was how your income can fluctuate massively from, well, I was going to say from 1 month to 1 month, but it could literally be from 1 week to the next week. It could be from 1 year to the next year. Who knows? Obviously, every different industry is very different. Every service, every product, there's going to be different demands. There's going to be different demands in terms of where you live, where you're setting your business up, in terms of what demographic you have, and if there's a need. Seasons, for example, what I said at the start of this video, I have a wedding photography business, and it's very evident that our business is very seasonal. In June, July, August, weddings are booming. Everyone wants to get married in summer, but then when it comes to February, March, weddings are very, very quiet. So if we were to rely month to month on our wedding bookings, we would really struggle in those quieter months. So you have to be quite smart in the fact that you have to budget, you have to plan, you have to forecast your year, maybe quarterly, maybe monthly even, and you have to make sure that you are making a plan, because you never know what's going to happen. Moving on to point 4, the first 3 points were a little bit doom and gloom, a little bit negative, a little bit on the practical side, but these last 2 are real positives that I wasn't necessarily aware of or were enticing me to go self-employed before I did. So point 4 is quite simply job satisfaction. If I knew before I went self-employed how much job satisfaction I'd have from being self-employed and building my own business up and doing something that I'm passionate about and that I want to grow, I would have gone self-employed way sooner. So I'm guessing a lot of you who are watching this are currently employed, and you've got a real passion, hobby perhaps, or something that you're just really good at that you enjoy doing, that you've seen other people turn into a business, or that you've really thought about turning into a business. You can do it, and when you do it, and you make a success of it, or maybe not even measuring the success of it, but maybe measuring the enjoyment from it, that is huge. Your work is such an important part of you that you really should try and be happy doing it. So job satisfaction is massive. When we go to weddings and we capture the day perfectly, we've completed the brief that we've got, we've been as creative as we possibly can be with our photography, we've gone above and beyond for the customers, and they're so happy. That fills us with so much job satisfaction that our product is, making someone's wedding day better. Job satisfaction element from being self-employed is huge. Seeing something that you've built from scratch grow, and you see people using your product or booking your service and being extremely happy with your service, leaving you good reviews, even just commenting to you whilst you're doing the service, how good the service is, or how happy they've chosen you and your business. It's so rewarding. And to be able to deliver your service or your product to customers, and they're telling you how happy it's making them, or it's filling a need that they really needed, it's very, very rewarding. And also, you know, more often than not, when you set up a business, you are passionate about that topic. Maybe you're doing it already as a hobby, or, you know, maybe you've been thinking about turning something that you're so passionate about into a business and a financial avenue for yourself. And when you see that start to materialize and you're making money from something that previously was a hobby, is very, very rewarding. And also, you know, just to be building your own business rather than someone else's business when you're employed is also very rewarding. My fifth and final point is working flexibility. This is slightly contradictory to the first 2 points in terms of how much you have to work and how many jobs you have. However, if you're organized and on the days you're working, you're productive and you're just smashing it, you can achieve some flexibility in your working structure. At the end of the day, your business is as much as you put into it. So if you want to put more into it, you know, in theory, you're probably going to get more out of it. However, the point I'm trying to make here with work and flexibility is that effort and that work that you put in, it doesn't have to be, you know, 9 to 5. It doesn't have to be what you're used to from employment. Your job might allow you to work from your laptop whilst you're traveling. Amazing. Your new business might allow you to work in your favorite coffee shop all day, chatting to new people, networking. If you love being at home and you've got, you know, kids perhaps, or a young puppy maybe, who knows, your new business might allow you to just fully work at home where, you know, your time needs to be, looking after your children and stuff. Having your own business and being self-employed really does give you that freedom. Obviously, there's external factors depending on what business you set up. Sometimes you are needed in a physical location. So like with us, for example, with weddings, it's unlikely anybody's going to be getting married in my house. So I can't work from home. I've got to go to the wedding. But that's the business I chose to set up. And that isn't necessarily an issue for me. But what it does mean is that once I've completed the weddings and I've got some editing to do, I'm able to do that editing anywhere. I've very often taken editing with me on holiday, which to a lot of people might sound like that doesn't sound great, you're working on holiday. But for me, being away, being able to earn money, being able to edit photos and do photography that I'm really passionate about anywhere in the world is very rewarding. So working flexibility is definitely something to think about before you go self-employed. Anyway, those were my top 5 things that I wish I knew before I was self-employed. There are more, but I would say they're the 5 biggest things. If you enjoyed this video, let me know, because I'm hoping to do a few more on this topic of self-employed. If you've got some questions that you want me to answer in the next videos and my experience and opinions of being self-employed, then please let me know and I'll answer them as best I can. Hopefully you enjoyed this type of format of video and I'm hoping to do more. So yeah, thank you very much.